hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about anger. Anger is a negative emotion. It can also serve us positively. There's something called righteous anger. Like for example, you're walking down the street and you see a young girl or a young boy being molested. Okay, that action, for example, inspires you or motivates you to do the right thing. And it's your anger that drives you to go and attack the person who's attacking the girl or take required action. So you see, you can't say anger is negative all the time. It becomes negative when the intention is wrong. It becomes negative when it becomes chronic in us, when we use it because of our shortcomings, when we use it because we're not patient, when we use it because our ego is bruised and we're trying to protect our ego because the ego always wants to feel good. But there's righteous anger, and then there is wrong, misplaced anger. In short, chronic anger destroys our health and every aspect of our life, from our relationships to our business to our career. I know people whose businesses have literally shut down because they've been unable to control their anger. I know people who have fallen out of their relationships. Their partners have left them. Their husbands or wives have left them. I know children who have distanced themselves from the angry parent. Anger can destroy every aspect of our life. So what do we do about it? Because we're living in a world today where there is a lot of anger. And if there is an anger that's visible, there's anger that's suppressed. Suppressed anger comes out in the forms of violence or self-harm or an outburst that can cause immense damage to other people around you. The point is, when we look at anger, like I said, it's an emotion. A lot of people tell you, don't be angry, control your anger, anger is going to cause you problems and all of that stuff. But it's not easy. It's difficult. But difficult doesn't mean impossible. A lot of people try to meditate, a lot of people try to chant, sometimes we pray, sometimes we medicate. We do all these little things. We distract our mind, but yet that is the symptomatic treatment for it. What we want to do, while that's all right, you should meditate, you should chant, you should pray, you should medicate if necessary and you're prescribed the right medication. But the point is, what is the underlying factor of your anger? There is always a root cause. It could be a childhood, where you grew up with insecurity, where you were never allowed to express yourself. Now that you're a young adult or a teenager and you have the ability to express yourself, it comes out, those years of suppression comes out in anger. But under most anger, almost all anger has an underlying fear. And if you can find out that fear and what that fear is and address that fear, you can overcome your anger. You can do hours and hours of therapy, but if that therapy doesn't help you find out your underlying fear and address it and teach you how to address that fear, it's practically useless. So today when you introspect all the times you've been angry, all the events that made you angry, all the people who made you angry or continue to make you angry, okay, you will find in most cases there is a fear that you hold. A fear of loss, a fear of being hurt, a fear of your future being damaged, a fear of the past coming up again and you going into that whole cycle of pain, betrayal, whatever it is. And there will also be a lot of ego. You see, our ego, all of us have it. It's not a bad thing unless we become slaves to it. Your ego always wants to feel right. Your ego always wants to feel good. That's why we do things out of ego to feel good about ourselves. We like to show off because it makes us feel good. But inside, we're really empty. We're still miserable. That's why we can egoistically show off with everything that we have, but at the end of the day, we still feel miserable and empty. When we know that the ego wants to protect itself, when we know that the ego inflates to make us feel good, the false sense of good, anything that threatens the ego will make you angry because it threatens how you feel. So many times, a stranger says something to you. How should it matter? You don't know that person. But your ego gets hurt, so you react with anger. We all do it, myself included. We get angry in traffic because we have that false ego of that sense of entitlement, like, why me? This horrible city, this horrible traffic. But look around you, look at the side, look in front, look behind you. There are hundreds of people also stuck in that traffic. All of them are not reacting the way you are. Some of them have accepted it. It's traffic, this is how it is. Listen to music, make a couple of phone calls, sing, whatever it is. They find their ways around it. But you see, the same situation can make you angry, but can make other people feel different. The point is, what is the fear that is underlying? What is that underlying fear? And that's what you need to introspect on. When you keep getting angry with your partner or your business colleague or your boss or whatever, there is some sense of loss of security, or it's the ego that's getting bruised and you want to protect the ego, or it's the sense of entitlement, which, how could she say this to me? How could he say this to me? And you get angry and you raise your voice. Okay, it comes from a sense of control. When you're losing control, you tend to get angry because you're no longer in control. You feel helpless. So all of these can be underlying causes of your anger. And if you really want to get better at overcoming your anger, you need to make a list of all of these fears. And you need to address them head on. Can't address them? Take help. Take therapy. But the point is, if you don't address those fears are going to grow bigger and bigger, and your anger and possible violence is also going to grow bigger and bigger. And sometimes this anger that's suppressed, it can come out in the most erratic behavior, where you're out of control and you say things or you do things that can cause immense damage, put you in danger along with other people as well. Now, when it comes to your overall health, let me explain what happens when you're chronically angry. When you're chronically angry, the body is under immense stress. You start producing a lot of cortisol, adrenaline, because you produce that and it stays high because you're chronically angry. Your progesterone starts to fall. Your estrogen goes up, your testosterone falls, and you have every single hormonal imbalance and every problem that comes out of hormonal imbalance. It impacts your endocrine system, which means, yes, your blood sugar levels, diabetes, thyroid, the way you feel, your brain cognitive function declines, your energy levels are depleted because anger uses a lot of energy. Your digestive system gets disrupted. You can get hyperacidic. Your blood pressure goes up, creating a whole load of other heart problems. So you see, this one negative emotion, which is chronic, can literally lead to disease, lifestyle diseases. So it can disable your immune system. Chronic anger, chronic stress disables your immune system. And that is why we have to understand that being angry all the time, it's an indicator that something is not wrong in your life and you need to change it. Using anger as a way of living is only destroying you, while it continues to destroy people around you, your own family, the people who love you, the people who work with you. It is destroying you in an even larger way. So it's a no-win situation. And like I said, it's difficult, but difficult doesn't mean impossible. So what you want to do today is introspect. What is my deepest fear in that situation when I'm angry with a person or a thing? I'm angry because I didn't get that promotion. It's affected my ego. It's affected what I've told my friends. There is always an underlying fear. And the first step is being aware of what that fear is. The second is accepting it. You're human. And the third is doing something about it. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.